Brian and Kenzie in the morning. And Chicago's alternative all day.
Q101.
Brian and Kenzie on Q101. Time for a fact that makes your brain go. About April Fool's Day, the history of it. And stick around here. Stay with this journey on April Fool's Day, because at the end, I'm going to give you an April Fool's Day prank that, well, either the greatest one of all time, if you were the deliverer of the prank, but the receiver of the prank, probably the most horrible thing you could ever do to anybody.
Well, that's nice.
That's coming up in about 3 minutes. But first, the history of April Fool's Day. And I assume, Case and Kenzie, you don't know what the exact history. I didn't know until I researched this thing up here. So I just thought it was maybe a couple of years ago someone did something. But no, it goes back to the 1500s, France. The origins, according to the History Channel, say historians believe the day came into existence when France implemented the Gregorian calendar. And previously, the French used the Julian calendar, which each year began on the spring equinox, which usually fell on April 1st. However, the Gregorian calendar, the new year starts January 1st, like we do, right? Everybody does that now.
Okay.
Many in France were not aware of the calendar change and continued to celebrate the new year around April 1st. Those people were considered the butt of jokes and hoaxes and named April Fools. And that is how it started. Now, it's not necessarily their fault. There was no internet back then to say, we're changing when the new year is.
There was like a huge corporate email.
Yeah. There was no group text saying, remember, let's party on April 1st, New Year's Eve. Oh, no, now it's January 1st. Those poor people, they got labeled April Fools.
Probably quite literally the poor people who weren't getting updated from the government. They're like, wait.
They're probably trying to find a goat to kill to eat dinner,
That's
and
right.
they can't tell when New Year's Eve is. It's a terrible holiday, actually.
Well, it's amazing, and I'm gonna steal some comedians' material here, but it's amazing that we've all agreed on what year it is now, because like the year 3 when it was happening was not the year 3. Nobody in the year 3 was going, God, it's been a tough year. I can't wait for 4. And it's amazing that the world has been able to sort of speed up and all get on the same page as a result of that.
Yeah, it's amazing we're here. It's amazing it all worked out.
It's amazing anybody's here. I can't believe we're not all dead.
Yeah.
What comedian said that?
Louis C.K.
Good job. Good guy.
Just for reference.
April Fools.
All right, so here's some of the April Fool's pranks over the years that might make you chuckle. But the last one I'm going to give you is a doozy. So stick around for this. For example, 29 years ago, an April Fool's prank, Taco Bell said they had bought the Liberty Bell, and we're naming it the Taco Liberty Bell. That's fun.
That's fun.
I like
Were
that one.
people mad?
I'm sure some people in Philly were mad. I used to live, actually, when I got exiled from Chicago radio. I don't want to talk about that right now, but I lived near the Liberty Bell, and they take that thing.
Brought it up. No
I
one
know.
brought it up.
No, we don't talk about it, but it's very sacred, the Liberty Bell, obviously. How about this one? 25 years ago, a Romanian newspaper announced that dozens of prisoners would be released from prison. So their families showed up to take them home, only to find out it was a joke.
That is not good.
The newspaper published an apology, much like Kenzie's apology, on her Photoshop pregnancy picture. And I guess everything's okay with them now.
Oh, my God.
Kenzie, I really mean this when you're not prepared for this last one.
I wasn't prepared for that one.
We were building up to that one. That one was, okay.
Oh, my God.
I think once on this show's almost 7-year history, we've mentioned Uday and Qusay, Saddam Hussein's sons that were taken out. After he was taken out then shortly after. Going back 20 years, we're almost on probably some anniversary of them dying.
Well, I have a famous Uday and Qusay story.
Well, let's get to that in a second.
Okay.
Would you like meet him backstage? What does that mean?
Yeah.
No, but not far off.
Yeah.
That's weird.
They were big Turnstile fans. They were evil people. They were very evil, just like Saddam Hussein as a dictator. So April Fool's 1999, Saddam's son Uday announced that the monthly food rations that the people got in what am I drawing a blank on Saddam Hussein?
Iraq?
Iraq. Yeah, Iraq. That's right. I was, draw a blank for a second.
It's okay.
Iraq. The monthly food rations would include bananas, Pepsi, and chocolate. People got excited. Then he said he was just joking.
That's horrible.
It's not good.
It might be the most evil thing I've ever heard, that these people that are starving and broke, you're going to get Pepsi, bananas, and chocolate. Imagine what you felt like when you heard that. And then, I'm just kidding. April Fools.
Why would that be funny?
In his,
The point is for it to be funny.
I know, in his tortured mind, it was funny, Kenzie. Much like your pregnancy Photoshop.
That was not what it is, because if you're just tuning in, that's not what happened. I posted a horrible photo, and that was the joke. The horrible photo was the joke. You keep saying it out of context, Brian. It's not a... You listen to the podcast. There was a horrible Photoshop that brought my back all the way in. My arm looked here. That was the joke.
I'm just trying to have someone take it out of context and get it up on a reel or something.
I can't believe Kenzie did that. I didn't do that. That's not what happened.
God. It's Brian and Kenzie on Q101, Temple of the Dog, with your facts that make your brain go.
Brian and Kenzie.
On Q101.
Brian and Kenzie on Q101. We have Miles Smith tickets for the show at Salt Shed coming up in about 6 minutes here. Now, today is April Fool's Day. We talked about this earlier in the show, where people may be playing those fun pranks. And listen, I'm all for it. If it gets you through your day, messing with people, you have a tough job out there. We're not going to partake in that today. Everything we're doing today is accurate and official entertainment on the show plan right here. Now, there was a prank that Kenzie did on me when I really barely knew her, not that far in, about 2 years ago. She just joined the show. And listeners all morning, I didn't realize Case and Kenzie have been answering the text line. And they said, everybody's asking for this prank. I forgot about it. I blocked that out of my head. Mm-hmm. It was mean against me.
Because you're not a therapy guy. You just like to push emotions down and not think about them.
That's what you're supposed to do. You're supposed to push all things and compartmentalize until when you're 90 and you explode.
And then it's everybody else's problem.
Oh, it's going to be rough when I'm 90. Look out. So this was a prank Kenzie pulled. Now, I have to explain something in radio, what we do and what caused this prank to happen. We do things here called endorsements. So whenever you hear a commercial that has our voice on it, and for example, DraftKings is something I've been doing for years and years, my entire time here. Love DraftKings. I'm not going to do the spot right now, but love them to death.
You want to give a little sample?
Well, I will say, if you use the promo code Q101 this week with the Final Four coming up, use promo code Q101. If you're a new customer to DraftKings, you get $150 in free bets on a $5 bet. There's no better deal than that in town. You can bet on your phone, sitting on the couch. It's the best thing ever.
Wow, what a live read. Incredible.
So that's basically what an endorsement is.
That's what an endorsement is. And we love doing them because we're passionate about, like I'm passionate about DraftKings. Mm-hmm. And whatever we talk about, when you hear Kenzie's voice or Case's voice on something, we're really passionate about it. And by the way, if you're a client out there that wants your product to get elevated.
Here he goes pimping.
Oh, yeah. You can contact Jeff Hill, our sales manager, or any of our salespeople, and say, hey, I like advertising on Q101. I like the listeners. I like the hosts. I want them to talk about my business. You just reach out to us and talk to us about your business. We like to learn about it. And I would love things like Costco and Apt. I'd love to be an endorser of those people. I love their products.
If that is the sort of thing that sounds interesting to you, feel free to text the show 312-591-8300. I can direct you from there.
That's even better if you're a client. We found out a lot of people, jumped on when we did the food drive. We had a lot of new clients come in from that.
Absolutely.
We deliver results. Let's just say that. And that's no joke. So to get there, this was a DraftKings endorsement I've been doing for years. Jeff Hill, the guy we were talking about, our big sales manager. I'm in the bathroom, I think, when you guys called me, right?
That sounds right. Kenzie, you orchestrated this whole plan. Tell us how this came to be.
Okay. So
Yeah, here we go.
Gather at the campfire.
That's right.
Brian is really, kind of protective and feisty about his stuff. He has only child syndrome a little bit with even though he's not an only child.
He's
like, that's mine. That's my thing. And he was berating me over the head with DraftKings and how much it means to him and why it's his favorite, why it's his, and why he does it better than everybody else. So
I don't remember that part, but probably accurate.
Yes. I thought, you know what I'm going to do is I went to the lead of sales, Jeff Hill, and I said, hey, could you do me a favor? Could you call Brian and tell him that DraftKings wants to split his endorsement with me, and every other day it's actually going to be me because I work for Marquee and they want this baseball angle. And he said, sure, no problem. And Brian was in the bathroom or just heading in. And again, only child syndrome doesn't like to share.
Nope, no, don't. My blood's boiling right now before we even play the audio right
now.
now.
You look red.
I'm really, this great prank, by the way, got me. But this was me in the bathroom, and that's why when Jeff calls, you pick up the phone. You don't wait. I'm in the bathroom, going to the bathroom.
That's dedication right there.
And pick up the phone, and here's what happened.
Hello?
Hey, I'm running into a meeting, so I wanted to give you a buzz. I had a long conversation yesterday with the agency people at DraftKings.
Yeah.
They are, with all the stuff going up on Wrigley up there this year, with the team and playoff push and all that other stuff, they are really trying to capitalize on the Cubs connection. So they want to lean into Kenzie a little bit because of all the stuff she does with the TV show and stuff like that. So I just wanted to kind of fill you in on that. And
I got to stop right there. The pause. You want to talk about seeing red?
Brian probably saw me walking through the hallway and almost killed me. Like, snapped my neck.
And by the way, I want to clarify that Kenzie, Case, and Jeff Hill are in the studio while I'm in the bathroom. They're calling me from the studio, and they're all in there together.
Jeff's calling you on the phone. Kenzie's just huddled around like an eager school child, and
I smiled the entire time.
And I'm recording the audio that you're hearing.
Yeah, the big pause, of course, in my voice that I'm losing.
Just nothing. There's not even a response.
So I just wanted to kind of fill you in on that. And
Am I losing it?
probably not losing it. What we're talking about maybe doing is kind of an every other spot kind of a thing. So we got to kind of see how performance is and how that whole thing goes. But right now, I think I've got them to the point of where we can do kind of an every other type of a deal.
Okay. All right. It certainly is a little upsetting because that's up in my wheelhouse.
I know. You're a sports guy.
Yeah, that's right.
Jeff was a sports guy.
That's all I was going to say.
Kind of a thing.
I'm shaking right now in the bathroom, my anger.
Yeah,
Not toward Kenzie, of course, as a lovely person.
Yeah, right. Brian wanted my head on a stake. He's trying to get so nice right now. He would have been, if that day I got hit by a car and died, he would have smiled, knowing that he would have fully gotten this endorsement back.
I might have said, no, that's a shame.
Oh,
Okay,
no.
that's a
What are you
shame.
gonna do?
We just got to move forward. We got to power
Yeah, we have
through
to
it.
move forward. We can't look back.
I have this promo code.
Yeah.
Okay, here's
I'll step in on her spots. Go, I got it.
that's the best prank ever pulled on me. Here we go. It keeps going up. A little upsetting.
I know you're a sports guy.
Yeah, that's right.
I know. I think it's all the the TV show and stuff like that she does that has really kind of piqued their interest. So.
Well, as long as I can share, I can still get some of it there. I'd love that.
It's a good lesson you can teach your daughter when she gets a little older. It's all about sharing.
Yeah.
Oh, my
You
God.
sound so mean.
I'm so
We're
mad.
literally, just to point out, we're sharing the endorsement. Like, he's like, I don't think she should get any of it.
Pulled the Tiffany Henyard.
Like, he didn't even lose the endorsement.
Oh, man. And here's the end of the call.
Well, I hope that's not her attitude.
I know, I had to fight for it. No, I see the claw was great for everything.
I know. Well, we'll figure it out, buddy.
That was the end of the call.
You have to claw and scrape for everything is how you ended that phone call.
I know. What a mental case I am. That's how protective I am of my people, my endorsers. Okay.
That he was sharing with his co-host.
Yeah, I don't want to. Listen, I'll share a meal.
No,
but
you
I ain't
won't.
sharing that. So then I leave the bathroom, start walking back to the studio because we had work to do. I'm just like going very slow and angrily down the hallway.
You're pissed, and so like we said, Jeff, Kenzie, and I are all in the studio together. Sort of acting like we're doing work. Our boss comes in, who's never on the radio. He's in there hanging out, and
he doesn't know what we did.
He has no idea what's happening.
And I walk in the studio, and Kenzie recorded it.
Are you mad?
It's upsetting. I'm not mad at you. I'm not mad at Jeff. I'm not mad at everybody. But that is my wheelhouse. So it's my thing.
Do you think I don't deserve it?
No, you deserve it. You work very hard. Are you filming me? Are you joking, by the way? This is only a joke. Oh, yeah. I didn't know. Seriously. Oh, you stay. You did this. You did this too.
Kenzie's hyperventilating.
Well, because
he's in the bathroom and he's like, it's kind of my wheelhouse.
not sharing, Brian.
He goes, am I losing it? Am I losing DraftKings?
Okay. All right. You know what?
Oh, boy, that's it. That's the end of the greatest prank ever pulled on me on April Fool's Day. That wasn't even April Fool's Day. That was just a daily prank.
I just felt like it.
Yeah.
You probably annoyed me that day.
Oh, God.
There's that loud bang in the Kenzie. What did Brian throw?
It was like, the, you know how he has like all the show prep pile, like the huge pile of
like
stuff.
a
There was
giant stack of paper.
yeah, and he chucked them, and it hit a garbage can and fell.
I don't remember that. Let's hear the end of that again. I forgot I threw something.
All right. You know what?
No, it was before that.
Okay. All right. You know what?
Don't cross Kenzie is what I learned there. Even though I didn't cross her, I was just minding my own business.
Like I said, you probably annoyed me that day.
Yeah, that's right. Somehow I annoyed her. And thanks, Cakes, for finding that audio. And the listeners wanted to hear it, so there you go. Also, text coming in. Brian's in it for the money, not the science.
Yeah, no kidding.
Boy.
Jonas, son of a bitch.
The Brian and Kenzie Show.
On Q101.
The Brian and Kenzie Show.
On Q101.
All-American Rejects, veterans of Q101's Twisted Christmas. Feels like it was yesterday. April 1st now. We're like, what is that? Let's see. December. So January, February, March, April. Are we 4 months from Twisted now?
No.
4, yeah.
4?
4 months. Like, not to it, but from it.
Oh.
So like December 12th, 13th, 14th. We're 8 months from it again, or 7 months.
Yes, we're 4 months from it, 8 months to it.
Yeah. Yeah, now we got that straight. We can do music.
Perfect.
We can do music and entertainment news. Well, yesterday at this time, Kenzie, you weren't here, and we kind of wished you were here to comment on this, the Morgan Wallen situation on Saturday Night Live, because the fallout seemed to continue as some of the people were speculating, and just in case you don't know the situation, Morgan Wallen was on Saturday Night Live. He performed at the end credits. He's there with Mikey Madison, and at the end of the credits, they always kind of chop it up a little bit while the credits are rolling.
What do they do at the end of the credits?
They chop it up. Everybody looks like they're good friends. They're hanging out, joking with each other, and the music's playing. It's a tradition for 50 years with Saturday Night Live. And Morgan Wallen kind of gave Mikey a quick hug and then just kind of walked right toward the camera.
It's so funny. Nobody appreciates how funny some things are.
Well, he walked off, and people thought it was very rude to her and to, of course, the cast. And then later posted a picture on a plane saying, "Getting back to God's country," on a private plane. So no one really knows exactly what happened, but there's some speculation now with people talking like Kenan Thompson said, "I'm not sure what happened. He is welcome back. He's not banned." And Kenan Thompson said maybe he just didn't know where to go.
Honestly, fair.
Just stay there.
First off, fair. But I have to say, no one's really addressing. Everyone's talking about him walking off, which is fine. I get that, right? But like, no one's talking about the fact that the cast was 800 feet away from them, and it looked like they didn't. They never do that. Everyone's always surrounding everybody.
Yeah.
So something, like, I don't care what anybody says, something was going on where every cast member decided not to stand near them. And what bothered me is I love Mikey Madison, and I thought even if they had a problem with him, there was beef going on, I don't know why they were doing that. The host is the main part. He sang 2 songs. Who cares? But the host is the main thing, and that's like not nice for the host. Like, that's her experience now.
And now she's like it right now because of
Honora, and she did fantastic,
Sorry.
and she deserves it. And I'm sure she wasn't even expecting the movie to blow up the way it did, and now she's on SNL. And it kind of sucks that this is now her SNL thing. And part of that is the cast members, because again, they stood, like they were practically doing lighting backstage. They stood so far away from them. So you can't, like, I love Kenan, but you cannot come on here and go, I don't know, that was real. I'm used to them high-fiving. You were in the other end zone. What are you talking about?
He might not have known what was going on either. I don't know. Like, they say Lorne Michaels may have snubbed him, and he gave a hug to Mikey Madison, but ignored him. I don't know.
But Lorne Michaels wasn't on stage.
What's that?
I'm sorry. No, you're right, Kenzie. Lorne Michaels wasn't on stage. Maybe backstage she gave Mikey Madison a hug. But if you're a grown man and you're mad that Lorne Michaels gave someone a hug and not you, grow up.
Yeah, he's done stupid-ass things. So,
But that's what I'm saying. Anybody who, like, I know people hate him, and I'm fine with I don't care. But I don't think he's like vindictive. I think he's just stupid. So I'm not really like, there's people out there that you're like, that's pure evil. Like, oh no, they're gonna like infiltrate like our government. I'm not really worried about it. You know what I mean? Like, it's whatever.
Our friends, the Double Features, made a song after Case's rant against Morgan Wallen yesterday. Now, this was the song that he played on the show. I did this to Bane, and I sang along with it yesterday. I'm not going to do that again.
You did it as Bane and George W. Bush.
And George W. Bush.
I missed a lot.
You did, Kenzie.
We got requests for you to do this as Johnny Carson, too.
I'm not doing that.
Thank God.
But you can go back to the podcast for the other nuggets of joy, yesterday's podcast. This song, by the way, Kenzie kind of victim blames.
I know. It's so funny.
She's
to me.
dancing to it.
This song's super unhealthy, very catchy.
Because if you hear the chorus that says, I'm the problem, so you're thinking like, oh, he's taking some responsibility. But then he says, it's your fault, woman.
I did all this alone. And you know what? Potentially fair.
It depends on the situation.
He's like, we both got drunk and trashed the bar. Fair.
Here was our friends, the Double Features, our house band, not doing a version of this song, but a version of our opening song they do in Morgan Wallen style, I guess. You judge how yourself on their greatness.
Ahoy, let's go. Fake country accent, Chicago. Making mad. Can't slow, but it's time to start the show. On Q101 with the morning crew. Ahoy, let's go. Well, welcome to the morning show.
Oh, I love those guys.
I do have to say, I love that, like, people are going to pretend that 90% of the musical artists that come on aren't probably also awful people. And this is the one stand that's being taken. It's all these rock stars idolized. And all. I'm like, yeah, they're probably not great. Like, you know what I mean?
Well, 90%'s a little much. I mean, he almost killed people throwing a chair off a bar.
Yeah. But like old school rock stars, like trashed rooms and all the, like, and everyone's fine with them. Like, you know what I mean?
Yeah. I guess. I don't know.
You're just cherry picking anger. If you're mad about that, then you have to hate a lot of people.
Well, everybody cherry picks what they want to be mad at.
I don't think you should be best friends with them, but like whatever.
I will say that I was stunned by the amount of blow up over it. Like it definitely. I was telling this yesterday Case. Like I thought he was like seen with Putin or something. It just seemed like it was everywhere for a while. Yeah. Anyway, moving on in music entertainment news. Gene Hackman's this headline. This should be in head to headlines tomorrow. Gene Hackman's mother-in-law doesn't want police body cam footage release. Now, he was 95. You'd think his mother-in-law would be 140? But actually, since he was 95 and his wife was only 65, his mother-in-law was actually younger than him at 91.
Wow.
Yeah. That's an awkward Thanksgiving. When you're older than your mother-in-law?
Oh, well.
I think only if you draw attention to it.
Well,
it shouldn't be an issue.
Well,
we should have a lot to talk about, honestly.
The same generation.
Yeah, like back in our day, like we should be having a blast.
Yeah, well, I guess the body cam footage is still a big point of contention.
But I don't understand why. And I don't mean this to sound crass at all, but the body camera footage is just going to show us that they're dead, right?
I guess. I don't know why. I've never seen, a situation of a murder or something like that. They died. It was tragic. We don't need to see that.
I'm assuming she doesn't want the images of their bodies everywhere.
Yes.
But deep down inside, I have to wonder, did the cop scream like a little girl when he opened the door and he's like, please don't let the footage. I see him open the door going, ah! Like he just wasn't expecting it.
Yeah, they probably shouldn't release it. She's right. Just leave it. And it's a story that keeps going. I'm not even sure if the bodies have been claimed by anybody at the morgue either yet. It's been like a month, and so far, last we checked, it was not claimed, which means his sons really didn't like him. He had 3 sons. Someone should claim the body and bury the guy. Or whatever you're going to do. Put him in a balloon. Whatever you're going to do.
Put him in a balloon?
I don't know. Whatever he wanted. I don't know what his will said.
I said put him in a balloon.
Yeah. I want Gene Hackman in a balloon. I want to see him. Like the whole world can see him.
They dislike him so much. I bet they're like, well, you had a fear of heights. Let's put him in a balloon. Like they're just being mean.
Finally, how about tickets for The Used at the House of Blues tomorrow night? So The Used doing kind of a residency at the House of Blues, and these are amazing shows. 312-591-8300. Call now for your chance to go to the show. You'll win the tickets for The Used. And incredible shows already have happened, and What a setting for that, too, for the album play. So 312-591-8300. Call now. Grab yourself the tickets for the used from our great friends Live Nation and us.
The Brian and Kenzie Show.
Q101.
The Brian and Kenzie Show.
Q101.
All right, so we got our winner of the Coheed and Cambria guaranteed entry, and they'll meet the band. We'll do it one more time tomorrow. Make sure you're here on the phones at 7:10 for that to compete with Kenzie and Trivia, because the event is Thursday night, the day before our Cubs broadcast, Friday at Almost Home Tavern. So a lot going on in Wrigleyville with Q101 Thursday night and Friday morning. Be with us. Lots of free stuff, good entertainment for you, and fun. So all that information at Q101.com. And also, I'll tell you what, coming up here in 6 minutes, we'll go out the keyword again for a chance to go see Oasis at the Rose Bowl, which will be fantastic. That keyword coming up if you missed it earlier, just a few seconds away. First, let's update Piece of Garbage Madness. What's going on? Our brackets of people and things that have been pieces of garbage in the past year. You vote, you decide who advances. Where are we at? Well, let's recap yesterday's matchups, which started in the show, and there's one going right now. We'll get to that in a second. Tough matchup yesterday with the 6-seed Bears Stadium drama. Upset City over 3-seed Indiana annexing Illinois.
Really?
I guess it's just as we predict. No one cares.
Okay, so you're doing your sports lingo here. So who won?
So the Bears, by sports lingo.
Because you're like, there was this big upset against the 3-seed, but who won?
So
who is going forward?
The 6-seed Bears will advance.
I see.
As a bigger piece of garbage than Indiana annexing Illinois, according to you, the people. And
I agree with that personally.
Well, I was shocked, but it also goes to our thoughts that we're the only one that talks about Indiana annexing part of the state. Do you realize how big a deal that is?
A third of the state, a third of the counties.
They want to rewrite the maps and take our people, even though they want to go because they voted on some kind of referendum that they want to leave. But we can't let them leave because then all our taxes will go up if those downstate counties want to go.
We can't have that.
You can't go.
I don't know if our taxes could go up anymore.
Fair point. But
famous
at what
last
point
words.
are they like, here's $1 from your paycheck? I was like, wait.
Kenzie, when you said that, politicians all across Illinois said, "Hold my beer." Watch what I'll do if we lose. If we lose a third of the state, good Lord. I'm sorry. People think the Bears Stadium drama is a bigger piece of garbage. They advance.
Wow.
Then
also, they're trying to get us to pay for that. So both have a lot to do with our money, in fairness.
One of the more insane matchups that have happened so far in Piece of Garbage Madness. An insane Josh Giddey last-second half-court shot to win. Number 2, Netflix price hikes won on Facebook, lost on Twitter, and lost on the Instagram story. But when I counted up the votes, it was more votes on Facebook that took home the victory from 7-seed more speed cameras. So Netflix price hikes, wins, and advances a bigger piece of garbage. But the speed cameras had legs, and people like myself, I voted for them.
On all 3 platforms. Stuff in the box.
And that's the lesson. If you want yours to win, go on all 3 platforms, Facebook, Twitter, and Instagram story to make sure the one that you want to advance as a bigger piece of garbage does. Because I wanted the speed cameras to advance, even though I also hate Netflix price hikes. But I've given anything I've given in addition to Netflix, I've given to those speed cameras more. About $1,200 in tickets I've had.
Speaking of money, that one's tough for you.
Tough one. Complete blowout. 1-seed Egg Prices took out 9-seed Jonas from Twister.
I thought I knew our listeners. Shame on you guys.
Jonas, son of a bitch.
It really is interesting. I think he's kind of become endearing in a way.
He has become the show's mascot.
Yeah, so I think
I don't dislike him.
Well, he's a night crawler.
Which I just thought was the name of his lab. I stand by that. I had no idea it was an insult.
It's one of my favorite things you've ever said. You thinking that he's a night crawler meant like he's a Chicago Bull, but night crawler was merely just an insult.
No, I didn't know that.
I guess in a way we'll pour one out for Jonas from Twister with the entire line from Twister.
Jonas, son of a bitch.
Who is that, honey?
Jonas Miller, he's a night crawler. We all start out in the same lab, and Jonas went out and got himself some corporate sponsors. He's in it for the money, not the science.
You did not tell me, like, doesn't Nightcrawler sound kind of cool? It sounds like the name of Batman's car or something. Nothing about it sounds bad.
Bad guy, but also a bad ending for him in the movie.
Sorry, tough one.
Sorry to spoil that. Also, same with this matchup, a minor upset, but possibly a seeding issue with the committee. I'll take that up later with myself. 5-seed Aaron Rodgers destroyed 4-seed Tyson Paul fight stream. And so Aaron Rodgers, boy, the people arguing with me, very vile DMs I got about why isn't Aaron Rodgers a 1-seed?
Yeah, they make a point.
Yeah, but I'm just enjoying my
still just
Monday
vote for him.
afternoon. I don't need vile DMs. What was that, Kenzie?
I was going to say, you could still just vote for him, though, so relax.
Yeah, you decide. You decide in the voting. So that was yesterday. Here's what we're going on right now. The current matchup is 6-seed Chicago Renderings. To understand this, some people are confused by it. It's when the Bears came up with this incredible rendering of what the city will look like after they redefined Soldier Field and the lakefront.
As long as you pay for it.
Yeah. We're going to make you pay for it. And also, it's not going to happen. Same thing with the United Center whole city redo over there, the $7 billion project. They make it look like it's the year 3000. That stuff's not going to happen. This city loves making cool renderings.
Yeah, spending money on those, wasting all of our time arguing.
That's going against a 3-seed, people who call Twitter X.
This is when it starts to get tough, people, okay?
This is where you really got to decide. I want to get to a couple other matchups that we're all up against it, but a few more coming up today. The 10-seed waiting in the Ticketmaster queue versus 2-seed, the Bears.
Oh.
How about this one? 1-seed, the Kennedy Construction Project versus 8-seed, Blake Lively.
This is like Duke against another good basketball team because I can't think of one. This is when it gets really tough.
That could be upset city.
Okay.
So those two are coming later today.
Brian and Kenzie in the morning. And Chicago's alternative all day.
Q101.